Let's talk about snow. It is winter after all. Winter in Maine, February, it's supposed to get snow. I'm going to show you snow maps I made for two storms. So the next several days, next 5 days really. So storm number one is coming on Thursday. That's tomorrow, middle of the day, a messy commute in the afternoon and evening time. Storm number two comes on Sunday. It starts before you wake up and it ends Sunday night. So let's talk about it now. Let's get into the forecast. I'm going to show you this. This is the Sunday storm. So this is the bigger of the two storms. A little bit more moisture and also a track just a little bit to the south. It's going to help to keep this, I believe, an all snow event. So here we go. 1 to 3 inches up Katahdin region north, Northwoods, Allagash. That's because the storm track goes to the south. 3 to 6 inches south of that, Jackman, Bangor, Ellsworth. And then 6 to 9, Auburn, Augusta, Freiburg, Bath, with a 9 to 12 stripe, York County. Call this a York County special down here on the southern coast. And also a portion of Cumberland County, Portland, South Portland, Scarborough, where that storm track and the amount of snow is going to just line up. That's my forecast for that storm. Let's take a look now at the storm coming tomorrow. The smaller of the two storms. This one is a 1 to 3 for really from about Skowhegan, Bangor heading north, and then it's 3 to 6 south of that. So Augusta, Rumford, Auburn, Bridgeton, Portland, Bath, heading up Penobscot Bay, Blue Hill, Bar Harbor, and just south of Machias. This one is going to be moving a little bit towards the Gulf of Maine, but it's a weaker system. It's not as strong as a Sunday storm. There's also an influence of a low to our north that's going to bring up some warm air at the end. So we'll take a look now at the start and stop times for these storms. So up in Caribou and up in Down East, this is where the storm for Thursday ends. It's going to end during the day, basically, Thursday night into Friday morning here. It'll taper off a little bit later the farther you head north. So this is for obviously Friday at 2 o'clock in the morning here. So that's when it's ending. Here's the storm when it is starting for the Caribou region, heading down east to Bangor. So you see noon on Thursday, that's your start time, and then it's starting at 4 o'clock in Caribou, 4 o'clock in Prescott. This is tomorrow's storm on Thursday. So you see the start and end times there. Now I want to show you the end time for the storm heading down south and west. So the southwest interior, the foothills, western mountains. So this is going to be the end time for that storm. This is for Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock at night Thursday here. So there's a lot of storms coming. So Thursday night is when this storm is going to end around 6, 7 o'clock, heading for the Casco Bay region, heading towards the southwest interior, the southern coast. The storm starts right after you wake up and after you probably get to work, okay? You get to school. And that's going to be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon. So middle of the day, lunchtime. It's beginning in Rockland. It's beginning a little bit before that in Portland. So that's the start time for tomorrow. Now let's get into the maps. I want to show you this now in more detail, what's going to be happening with the storm. This is tomorrow's storm. We'll do this storm, the tomorrow storm first, Thursday storm here. So if you're watching this on Thursday morning, it's happening right now. You got an ice storm breaking out down towards Pennsylvania. Philadelphia is on the line down towards Wildwood, Cape May. But here's the thing. We've got high pressure to our east. This high sliding east is going to allow a little return flow of some warmer air. But I expect us to be cold enough here to start off. Because that cold air is in place, we're cold enough, and that means it is going to be an all-snow start for Maine. So let me put the map into motion now. An ice storm, really just a messy storm down in the mid-Atlantic. For us, it's all snow. And here is that snow. All blue here, right? Because the cold air is in place, and it doesn't matter that... What matters is that the storm is not super strong heading north, or else it would pull more warm air. So because the cold air is in place, that matters a lot, that the cold air is locked in. We don't change over until late Thursday. By then, by the time there's any changeover, if any at all, a little light freezing drizzle, by then, it's over here. Here's your little light freezing drizzle, western mountains here. But it's still snowing down east, okay? It's still snowing up in the county. And this is Thursday late afternoon where the snow is still coming down in northern Maine. So then that storm is going to move out of here. and it's gone. And then a very big key for the next storm is going to be high pressure again. So this is now Saturday afternoon. So watch what happens here Saturday afternoon. You have high pressure in control. You've got cold air. Now, the models like to underestimate how cold things are going to be. I expect this to be quite cold on Saturday, Friday and Saturday, which means that when this next storm gets here, moves up from the mid-Atlantic, you see the track of this storm, it's going to transfer a bit of energy from Pennsylvania heading east, okay? And look at this big thump of snow up towards the Champlain Valley, up towards Watertown, Albany. Okay, but we're all snow in Maine. There's enough cold air and plenty of it in place. And watch this storm track. It's really an ideal storm track for an overrunning event. So you get the warm, moist air going over that cold air. And this storm track here, you got a low probably develops here, and we are all snow. That's why we call it a York County special, because York County is going to get clobbered by this storm. It'll be cold enough, and that's where your closest are in Maine to the biggest amount of moisture in the atmosphere. You need moisture if you're going to get snow. And that storm pulls off the coast. It does strengthen a bit in the Gulf of Maine, and then it's out of here. And then here comes the next storm after that, Monday, but that's right now only in New Jersey. So I want to take things out and show you the storm. So this is Monday into Tuesday. This is, as we get into next week here, this storm right now is expected to be just to our south here. So this would once again be only a southern Maine situation here if the storm track is this far south off Delmarva. So you've got snow in our friends in southern New England, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Boston. They get the snow. Up in northern Maine, you'd get nothing if this storm track was to hold. So keep that in mind going forward. Then we get some light snow as that storm pushes to the east. Then the next storm after that, February 15th, notice the track of this storm. If this one goes inland and there's not enough cold air, it's going to change over to rain, but there's still obviously several days to fine-tune this. But this is more of a mountain and inland type storm than it is a southern Maine or a coastal storm, as that one heads east here. So opportunities here for storms, plenty of them. So I want to talk about the next two storms in more detail and show you where we've got low pressure, because that's our center of the storm. A little bit of a low here in the Gulf of Maine, and you got also a low here up in eastern Canada. So with this weak low going to the Gulf of Maine, is that going to lock in the cold air and we don't change over at all on Thursday for tomorrow, right? So this is key. This is key to keeping things cold here, right? Because the parent low for this storm is going to be heading to our north here. So we've got enough cold air in place, and we'll see about that. So now let's go to the Sunday storm and watch this one. Watch the track for this one. This is very important here. So this one is off the coast of Long Island. That's a very good track for snow, just about statewide, but to keep the snow along the southern coast to be all snow, you need this track. So your cluster of lows, or where the one low is going to be, is right here, Long Island Sound heading east here. So very important you don't get mixing with a track like that most of the time. And then that pulls out of here and it's gone. So I want to talk about temperatures here as we get into the middle of the month here, and watch and take a look here at a piece of the polar vortex that's coming into the high plains and the Midwest. That's some real cold stuff. You get a big spike of warm southeast, and we're kind of in the the battleground here in Maine for whether or not we're going to be on that rain snow line with these storms, because we're not warm, not cold. We're right on it's called the baroclinic zone. So we're right there on the battleground, the front lines of where the warm moist air is and the colder and drier air. So we'll be on that battleground on the front lines getting into middle of February. Head to Nappicast.com for the latest forecast. I have it up right now. Here's the forecast of the video. Thank you to our sponsors today, O'Hara's Kennebunk for the love of food and drink. Periods of snow to a mix. This is tomorrow. At the coast at 32, you're right in that line. Also, going to watch if warm air goes above that ground temperature of 32. Be some mixing. Today, though, it's mostly sunny. It'll be chilly. And your snowfall maps are right there. This is for tomorrow's storm, and this is for the storm for Sunday. So the only forecast in Maine that's doing a snow map 4 or 5 days out. JasonNappyWeather.com. what you're going to see here is a brand new blog, start and end times for the storm tomorrow, and also the snow maps, and also the long range forecast. So thank you so much. You can donate here to me to help me out. I'm an independent meteorologist here in Maine. You can donate whatever you'd like, or you can just watch the videos. That helps too. So I want to thank you so much for being here on Jason Nappy Weather and Nappicast. I hope to help you plan the rest of your day and week and the weeks to come.